What's up guys, it's Sam here and welcome back to another video. Today I have an awesome one. This is a recorded live presentation that we did inside of our inner circle, which obviously those of you who are new here, I have a small group in school, which is a community for agency owners. And we did recently had a guest. His name's Sam. He owns a company called Atomic Marketing. He's a Google Ads and landing page specialist. So you're about to jump into an amazing 30 to 40 minute presentation with a little bit of live Q&A at the end, all around how to build the best lead gen pages, whether you're running Google ads, Facebook ads, it really does not matter. This is a full breakdown of some of the highest converting landing pages that he currently has running. So enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And if you are interested at the end of the video, feel free to join our private school community. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. So enjoy the video. But yeah, this is all about landing pages. So I'm going to give Sam's going to be hosting this one. And so just before we start, like if anyone knows, Sam owns Atomic Marketing. And if you just go to their website, like it's such a sick looking website. You'll see just like where this kind of quality comes from. But they're a Google Ads agency. We've shared clients in the past, and they did an amazing job. They got great customer service. They got an amazing product. Sam's great at marketing. Yeah, so if anyone here does Google Ads or like wants landing page help, like Sam does do a little bit consulting as well. So like if you're interested in that, you can just message Sam on school and he's happy to help. But yeah, I'm going to pass over to Sam. He's going to start kind of walk you through some of his landing page design concepts and some examples. I'm also going to put up some examples as well, like kind of more of a comparison to Facebook ads. Yeah, I'll pass over to Sam. Sam, take us away. Give us the intro, and then let's go from here.
Yeah, well, thank you for the very kind intro. I appreciate that.
No worries.
And yeah, I'm really looking forward to delivering this presentation to you guys. We've been doing landing pages for a long time, and I'll share my screen. And
one sec.
I think I'm
yeah, you should be able to now.
Cool. All right. And then I can kind of walk you through some stuff I've prepared so that you can get the best value from it. Cool. Can everyone see?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So as a quick intro, like Sam said, I'm co-owner of Atomic Marketing. We primarily do Google Ads and landing pages, a little bit of conversion rate optimization. But, you know, as times progress, we kind of offer most services now. Don't really do Facebook ads other than like the occasional client that wants to do it. So I will be kind of referring to Sam for some of the more Facebook relevant topics to this presentation. So I'm a self-taught landing page designer. I literally started with no knowledge at all. I think my experience started from just learning Photoshop and designing in HTML and handing that to designers. So with technology, it's come a long way from there. And we primarily use the platform Unbounce to design our landing pages. So it's nothing like crazy custom or coded. This is stuff everyone can do if you put the time into doing it or find the right person who can do it for you. And so
just a quick caveat. Sorry to interrupt you. So those who don't know, Unbounce is a landing page builder, much like lead pages, ClickFunnels, but what we found landing pages to be quite custom, right? So it gives you a lot more control over like variables. So for example, like rows and columns, you're pretty limitless in what you can do with Unbounce, right? So it's a lot more advanced. Like if you want to build landing pages that look like sites and that are like super advanced, Unbounce is we've used it in the past. It's pretty good, but I'll let you crack on. I just wanted to kind of elaborate on that.
100%. That's the reason I use it. It's for its flexibility. And so since 2017, I've probably designed over 500 pages, not just for our own clients, but I've had other agencies we've done it for, built even agency funnels as well for other agency owners. We're a power partner of Unbounce and also a landing page coach recently for a Google Ads community in God Tier Forge. So quick disclaimer, from a background in Google Ads is unforgiving when it comes to landing pages. So the quality needs to be really high. It works completely different to Facebook ads. They typically need to be a bit longer form, higher production quality, and require more conventional design. And that kind of brings me back to what Sam was saying. They have to look a bit more like a website for people to trust it.
I always say the 80-20 rule, the 80-20 rule, sorry, with Google and Facebook. So Google Ads is like 20% ad, 80% like funnel. Facebook's more like 80% ad, 20% funnel. So obviously not all Facebook ads are like that. Some Facebook ads are more clickbait, like just generating traffic, and then they do the heavy lifting on the page. You guys, myself, our agency is a lot more creative ad focused, like content, video, design, copy, engaging and giving a lot of information on the advert. And then the landing page is more or less just about like that last step, that last kind of 20% of the user kind of time experience of like generating a lead. Whereas Google Ads, you don't really have that option. It's like you get the click. Most people are clicking within what 5 to 20 seconds, and then they're on your page for the rest of it. So yeah, it's definitely more important.
It's exactly that. The page has to win the kind of the desire for them to click through. And so typically when it comes to Facebook ads, and I'm sure Sam can speak much more about this, and he just did, short and more concise. You need good ad to landing page message match, and you're kind of more focusing on the creative and value proposition. Anything else to add on those points, or?
No, all good.
Cool. All right. So here's a quick bit of data. So whenever I do presentations on YouTube or anything, I always like to back it up by the data. I'm not kind of giving you some theoretical information like a lot of people spew out on the internet at the moment. So here's just a sample of some of our client accounts. We spent just over $250,000 in the last 90 days from a handful of our accounts. Some spend more than that, but on average, we're getting a conversion rate of 8.21%, which for Google Ads is pretty good. It does depend on niche keywords. There's so many factors that come into what creates a good conversion rate. But as far as an average goes across loads of accounts, that's pretty high. And so my key to success, I don't know if you can see the GIF on here. It might be white, but there is a zooming in picture of a horse. And the key to success of picking the winning horse is about picking industries that work. And that's always been like our kind of blueprint for success. We're not trying to be too clever with really niche B2B industries or interesting services that are hard to market. There are certain things like boiler repair, roofing repair, or new roofs, pest control, certain industries that just naturally lend themselves to good conversion rates and people willing to inquire very easily. So, I kind of like to just focus on those types of campaigns for the most part. There are more complex ones, but that's kind of the majority of our clients are nice, easy sort of campaign styles. So let's dive into some client examples and data. So this is one of our clients. They do mobile tire replacement, very much in the concept of picking the winning horse. If you've got a pop tire, you're going to call someone pretty quick, and all that you really need to do is make them look trustworthy. So here's an example of one of the pages. Very nice headline, call to action. And you got to think when it comes to a service like fast response mobile tire fitting, the call to action is going to be more based around tracking phone calls rather than form submits because it's a very time sensitive topic. And so you can see here since, when is this? 1st December 2023 through to present day, had a 23% conversion rate, spent 30 grand in that campaign. We're getting a cost per phone call lead of £15, which is pretty good. This one Sam will be familiar with, conservatory roofs. I think you're probably the most experienced person for conservatory roofs in the country, maybe at marketing. But yeah, this is a quick campaign we ran, 5K spent, generated £72,000 of business. Cost per lead of 85. So you'll see like in Google Ads, your cost per leads can be a lot more expensive, but typically what you'll find, they're a little bit more qualified. Not all the time, but that's typically how it goes. And also to show you the bad side of things, because it's not an instant highlight reel for all of time. Sometimes it can just tank for whatever reason. It could be the market, it could be loads of additional factors. Nothing in this particular account I could actually diagnose, figure out why it just tanked. So yeah, we don't do conservatory roof marketing anymore.
I think just a caveat on that one, because we've worked with this I'm not going to mention client name, but we've worked with the same client, haven't we? We've obviously talked about this.
Yeah,
had exactly the same problem. There's only so many people who want this solution within a certain area, and obviously you're working with catchments and radiuses. And sometimes you might have quite a niche product with quite a niche market, and all the low hanging fruit just gets like sucked in the first sort of 30 to 60 days. And then it's like, oh, like now you actually have to put the work in to get the leads. And I think a product like this one, which was the conservatory panel insulation, is a lot more specific. It's even more specific than your typical conservatory roof, like replacements or like insulation. And so that could be an explanation. Just on that, Sam, a lot of people here will probably be thinking the same thing. But when a landing page, whether it's Facebook ads, whether it's your Google ads, when a landing page just seemingly stops converting, i.e. your all your other key indicators, your clicks, your CTRs, your engagement levels on your ads seemingly is the same, but your landing page conversion goes from like a really high converting page to like tanking. It can be really difficult to know what to do. So what do you guys typically do in that scenario?
Yeah, we definitely have a meeting with the client to understand if there are any conditions in the market. That's probably the first thing that we'd always look at before anything, before diving into any stats or metric is, okay, is there anything in the market that says this should be happening? Is it like seasonality or geopolitical kind of things? Is it generally just, a bad time of year for it? What do other companies in the same sector say? Because they do talk to each other. And they say, oh, yeah, this guy's quiet or this guy's quiet. And then we will chalk it up sometimes to just being like, okay, it can just be a bad month. Can we get through it? Is it just an anomaly? And then if it still proceeds from there, then I kind of say I'm out, because there's only so much kind of diagnostics you can do before trying to, providing all the stats and metrics check out. And there's nothing else that you can identify, because we do have a nice detailed process to go through that. If we're getting good quality traffic, there's no kind of discrepancies in different age ranges which are coming in, because what you might find in conservatory roofs is that you have people of a lower age group who just don't convert in the same way. We check that. So we check everything pretty much. If you're still getting low conversion rates, I think it just comes down to like industry or like a glitch in the system.
Yeah, and it's the same with Facebook as well. So like if, for example, you're running ads and you run them for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, and performance is great and the sudden it dips, it's worth looking into those like breakdowns. So like looking into age categories, looking at demographics, gender, even things like what postcodes are coming through. Sometimes Facebook will obviously, well, no, as a default, Facebook and Google is probably both going to target like those most likely to convert. Because obviously, remember, you're optimizing for leads and you're optimizing for conversions. So if that just stops happening, but seemingly everything else is consistent, i.e. your traffic source, your spend, your CPMs, your CTRs, like often it can be that Facebook's just run out of that ideal customer, but it still wants to spend your money, right?
Exactly.
So it's worth looking into that when that time changed, when those results dipped, and then just looking into those demographics. Exactly what Sam says.
I think that's so true. It has just run out of people to show to, especially with this, where there's only a finite number of people with conservatories.
Yeah.
Like it's not a growing market.
Another finite, the amount of them that still have their old conservatory and haven't already converted it, which is another thing. But anyway.
100%. So here's an example of loft boarding. I know you've worked in this industry as well, Sam, I believe as well.
Yeah, we did. We work with like a big franchise, so we do a lot of this.
Access for Lofts.
Access for Lofts, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think we've done a couple of campaigns for them as well.
They did a deal with I can't remember which company, but they've obviously got loads of locations across the UK, and they'd done a deal with an agency.
I know the agency.
They started kind of dropping off a little bit since then. But yeah, should have got in there sooner.
I think I know the same agency you mean as well.
Yeah. Oh well.
Sleazy guy in a suit jacket.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're listening. Okay, but yeah, this is another client of ours. They're a loft boarding company. They do also like mini loft conversions. And you can see before they had a landing page and were working with another agency, their cost per lead was £224, which is an extortionately high amount for loft boarding leads. Since working with us and implementing landing pages, a general better Google Ads account structure as well, that has these images showing.
Wow, that's the worst. That's awful.
Yeah, it's not great. Are these images showing on your screen?
No, but I think we get the gist.
Okay, yeah, it should show you the exact conversion rates on them. Not sure why, but yeah. The data is there. I will come back to it. Hopefully it will decide to show. But here we go. Here's an example of pest control, just to show you like the very different designs that we do. Lots of different kind of design elements that you'll find are quite common that I use in our landing page designs. So I actually really like to make use of the navigation bar, making it look quite conventional: logo left, accreditations, number top right. I'm not trying to be too fancy with it. And then just a very clear headline, social proof, subheading, some benefit points, and then a call to action, and then more social proof. I literally stack social proof pretty much everywhere you can see, probably more so than most people.
So quick question on that. So firstly, I've got two questions. First, if you're going to cover this, just tell me and we'll wait. Do you follow a certain structure? So obviously all your landing pages look different, which is really important if you guys are running an agency which is slightly more bespoke. Do you follow a structure? Like, I know you do follow a structure, but do you have any kind of like kind of guides as to what that structure looks like? So obviously we know about the AIDA principle, for example. Do you have like a template, i.e. this goes here, every page has to have this, and this. And then there's obviously two factors to that. You've got the above the fold section, then you've got scrollable section. So yeah, like, do you have any kind of guidelines or kind of structures for that?
I'd say I usually do follow that AIDA principle. Like, they'll naturally always have that same content in there. Was it attention, interest, desire, and then what's the action? Action's the final one. Usually, depending on the campaign style. So for something like pest control, I won't typically have like the before and after transformation, because it's just not, like, they know they want to get like the rats out of their house, or they know they want a tire fix. I'm not going to show them a 1, 2, 3 step in there. But it's just like, for local businesses especially, and emergency services, it's mainly like, do you do what I'm looking for, and can I trust you? And those, I make those like the most focal points. And here's something interesting to bear in mind. I think only like 40% of people will actually scroll past the hero section. So when it comes to optimization, and it does vary from industry to industry, but when you're optimizing, put like 80% of your efforts into making the hero and the section below the best possible parts that you can, rather than trying to focus on like all the individual like informational elements below, which I still do, but it's more so for higher intent purchases or longer decision-making purchases, which just have higher ticket values. Garden rooms or something. That's where I'll spend more time in building out a longer form page with more information on all the possible kind of things that they do.
Awesome.
So here's a couple of clients in the windows and doors niche. You can see here one company from Chicago. Here's a UK-based company. And they're really simple pages. And you'll notice all the similarities that we use on these pages, and like, which pretty much apply to every single page design that we use. A very decent nav, and we use this kind of subheading navigation, I guess, which is an easy way to get more benefit point ticks in here. And the reason we use these is that they're actually very conventional to large enterprise sites, where you'll kind of see the free shipping and 30-day money back guarantee. They all kind of fall under this mini nav underneath the main nav. So that's something that we've kind of incorporated into our designs, just to get more benefit points in there without having to create a massive long list of benefit ticks in the hero section. And then another cool thing that we're trying with at the moment, which is working really well, is using a hero image. So you can see a nice picture of Windows, and then having a Google quote or a Google review right up in that same bit there. So a testimonial that relates directly to the hero image, which works nicely.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. And so here's, okay, they're showing here now. So here's a before and after. So this is typically with Google Ads, you'll find a lot of agencies send traffic to the website of clients where there's more information, and it can work. The website does need to be pretty decent. But what you can see here is they were struggling with a 1.85% conversion rate, cost per lead upwards of £100. And so since implementing landing pages and really not changing much in terms of the Google Ads structure and target keywords, we're now up to a 14% conversion rate, which brings our cost per conversion down to £33. which is a massive difference.
That's amazing. There's one thing here actually, by the way, which is really I think has a huge impact on conversion rates, which is like customer confusion. If somebody has to think about it, they're usually gonna dash off basically. So like on this left page, you can see you've got two options: make an appointment or get in contact. People are we way underestimate the attention span of people and how their brains work. Like people will look at that and be like, I don't know if I need an appointment or if I need to get in touch. So I'll leave it for leave it for now. Whereas your one is just like, look, you want a free quote. That's the outcome the customer wants. So there's simply a button that says get me a free quote, and that's actually all you need to do. I think that's one of the biggest changes you probably made there. And also when you're looking at that page on the left, it's not that obvious as to where that customer needs to click, right? It's on your one, it's obvious, but on their one, it's like, where am I actually going here? And there's also no, like, your eyes don't know where to look. For like text, obviously, if anyone's read the book, I've got it there somewhere. I think it's called The Ultimate Sales Letter. You read that, right, Sam?
No.
Okay.
Put it in the chat. I'd like to check it out.
I will put it in the chat. It's a book about copywriting. It's super old. And it talks a lot about like text sizes, fonts, icons, bullet points. It's like you want to send your customers' eyeballs in the right directions at the right time. So your one, it's like, yeah, obviously you're going to read that headline first. Then I'm probably going straight down to those benefits. Then I'm probably going to read the subheadline. Then I'm going to click get my free quote. Whereas that one on the left, it's like it's just a big block of text, and there's nothing really drawing your attention anywhere. So I'll put the Ultimate Sales Letter in the chat window. But yeah, worth a purchase if you guys are looking to get better at copy, but not just copy, but also just like copy structure and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks awesome.
Here's the full page that we were using, and you can see with this is where we would typically use that AIDA principle of like the 1, 2, 3 step of like the transformation of like booking a free consult, quote free 3D design, then install your new door, just right directly below the hero section. And you can see like with these pages, they're really nicely designed. They're quite long form. They've got all like the before and after type quality on there. Call to actions throughout, showroom, location, a bit more benefit points.
Can we see mobile as well?
Yeah.
It looks like a website ultimately, but there's nowhere else for them to go, which is the important part.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you see this on there?
Yes. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, so, it looks nice.
Kind of like that. And then you got the sticky call bar at the bottom there, but all kind of like designed in the exact same format as desktop.
How many of your leads call versus opt-in?
Most of them probably complete the form, but there are the serious people who will call.
Yeah.
But it's like probably 70 to 80% people who use the form, I'd say.
Yeah. Cool. Nice.
It's very different. It depends on the industry. But like these types of campaigns, more like home improvement, upgrading your home, people tend to submit the form. And it depends on your call to action as well.
Yeah.
Like you can get some more to like call, but form, you're just going to get the volume.
Yeah.
So that's, you can kind of see previously from this screenshot here that the cost per lead was like £116. Conversion rate was absolutely awful. Now you can see like really how quickly a good landing page can turn the tide on a campaign, changing it from like £100 plus to £30. And then you can see it's even now like between £15 and £25. So over time, it's been so consistent since we've kind of got through that phase and really kind of worked out a good conversion rate over time.
Just a quick one. Was it an agency before running this, or was it the owner of the company?
It was an agency.
Are they expensive?
Yeah, they're more expensive than us.
Yeah. So that's it. It's like you're providing like 10 times more value and you're charging less. It's like it's a no-brainer offer.
Yeah.
Your offer doesn't need to be like free this, free that. It's like, look, he's got all this proof. And I'd imagine that was like the quickest sales demo of your pitch of your life, right? It's like, okay, well, you know, we're gonna, have a fraction of the cost per lead. We're gonna charge less. It's like it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer offer to the client. So
let me show the other one too, actually. So this was so you can imagine I'm kind of my mouth's watering when I see a client sending traffic to a page like this. Something,
Might work with Facebook, by the way, but I don't see it as working with Google.
No, so it didn't really cut the mustard very well on Google.
No.
And bear in mind, like the cost per clicks in America for this type of stuff are like between $20, $40, $50 as well. So it's so important. And I'm going to come onto this in a moment. So we've kind of incorporated these more multi-step survey style, which I actually probably found from you, Sam.
Is this growth form or lead took?
Hmm?
Is this lead took or growth form?
No, this is a different one called Hayflow.
Oh, it's Hayflow. Yeah, I know Hayflow. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Similar. It looks nice.
Yeah, pretty much same sort of thing where you can really help qualify users, get much more details. And this is for like clients who really want good quality of leads, and they don't just want name, email, phone number, postcode, and a couple of additional questions.
Yeah.
And it does depend from industry to industry how many questions you can use before it starts to like really tank the conversion rate. But
it looks great.
Yeah, I love them. And then it does like a nice, and you can actually use conditional logic to do calculations as well if you want to kind of be able to show indicative prices for prospects as well, which I quite like. Really helps with qualification. And so that's kind of like we've even now rolled that out to the existing campaigns that I've showed you, helped increase conversion rate. I think minimum is like 2-3%. We've been able to increase it by using it, but upwards of 5 as well. You can get in some campaigns, it's even higher. And the great thing with it is you can now identify your drop-off rates. So I know when it comes to like you're running a landing page, you're like, oh, conversion rate could be better. What can I be doing? And you reach a certain benchmark. I find when you understand your form data and your form drop-off rates, you can then really understand, okay, where are we losing people now?
Yeah.
Is there a certain question that could be phrased better? And it's not necessarily like the question itself, but it might be the fact that you need to kind of rephrase a question in a certain way and test that to see if you can get more conversions coming through, because you can see on this one, personal details such as name, email, phone number, we're getting a drop-off rate of 85%. So we might want to break that up into 3 separate steps, ask them individually. That often will help increase conversion rates by 5% on that particular step. And there's loads of things. And it just helps you understand, okay, what part of the form are people dropping from. And
it's also the questions you're asking. So making sure the questions aren't confusing.
Exactly.
Someone should be able to answer the question like without thought. So asking, we used to do solar and we used to ask questions like, what's your monthly, who's your electricity provider? And maybe the wife or the husband inquiring like doesn't know. So either remove that question, change it, or if you're going to use that kind of question, make sure you have a I'm not sure option at the bottom as well.
I think here we have one on solar as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So you can kind of see like the same kind of thing, and like you just described, I would never ask that because they just wouldn't know that question of how much is your bill or like how many kilowatts is it. I've seen people ask, and I can imagine the drop-off rate on something like that would be really high.
Yeah,
but this kind of gives you an idea again, like of what our pages look like, and you can tell they're like really similar to each other. A few kind of differences, but we're not really kind of reinventing the structure. It's just the content's changing and making sure all your kind of benefit points are highlighted in headlines. A lot of people kind of forget like subheadings within the page are actually really useful places to get good value propositions across. So like no upfront fees from as low as £63 per month, just rather than like, oh, great quality service is what you see a lot of people do. And then you can kind of tap into what people want with like getting stuff done efficiently, on time, maximizing your energy, even in cloudy weather. So that's something that like research will kind of bring up. People are like, oh, I don't know whether to do solar because if it's cloudy, will I get the same kind of output from my investment? All that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've kind of like summarized my main quick wins for high conversion rates. It's first of all improving the clarity of your landing pages. So making sure when people click on your ad or they've gone through, watched a video on Facebook, click through from that the landing page relates to what they've just seen. What you find is a major drop off or bounce rate when it's confusing or people are like, oh, that doesn't quite look like what I clicked on, or like the offer's different. So that message match is really important. Leveraging social proof and trust signals. So like we've seen on some of my pages, I go probably all out compared to most people. I've got social proof up in the navigation. In the hero, I use it twice, and I actually will. And this comes down to like the subtleties of design as well. It's not just putting like 5 gold stars. It's then saying based on a number of reviews, and then having it like related to that review platform.
Yeah.
They're really small nuances that it's hard to pick up on, but it's just stuff that you should be aware of. Low threat call to actions as well, because booking a showroom appointment versus getting a free quote is going to have an entirely different conversion rate. And of course, position your CTA higher on the page. The higher up it's going to be, typically the better it will convert, especially with Facebook, where you're going to be using shorter form landing page content anyway. And we've tested on some of these pages. I think this one here, let me check this one, calculate quote. So we now use this one here. So we had a difference of 5% conversion rate just by moving this section above this section.
I really love the just a heads up, we've tested these forms. We did it for like garden rooms, we've done it for windows, and the images make such a bigger difference than you can imagine, because some people don't necessarily know what like a sash window is compared to a casement window. Like they may just have cold house and their windows are like 25 years old. They may have never even upgraded their windows like in their home. So having these little photos and the way these, like choosing your form builder is so important, because not all form builders give you such a like a natural and like, you know, aesthetic look to a form like this. But yeah, these photos is amazing, and obviously it's such an easy way to kind of explain the product and show it. So we do the same thing with garden rooms. We'd be like, you know, what finish do you want? It would have like cedar finish, or we'll have like
Nice.
I think off the top of my head. But then you can just put a photo of the room and like what it looks like. And the same with conservatories, you know, like Shape Conservatory, or if you guys are doing any other products, like not even like you know, home improvements, like this is the same for anything. Like it's such a cool way of showing it, and I like that. And we don't do that so much now, but that actually yeah, I really like what you've done with that form.
You even use it with what was it? Troy. Yeah, so I've now even started bringing it into physio.
Nice.
So you can see here, say exact same thing. You got date pickers.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, really neat. Put it up in the hero section. And like, we don't just do home improvement. We've got clients in legal and everything. So
yeah,
but like that's not really our focus. Clients still come to us for it, but you can kind of see now, like this example of breaking up the steps of asking for your name, email, and then you can see like the subtleties of really like paying attention, not just to the question field that you're using, but how you ask for a question. So email to receive appointment updates rather than just your email address. You can see there's going to be a difference in conversion rate in how you write the cool. Question. So you'd put like your email address in there.
It's also on that topic. We have sometimes clients, people put in fake phone numbers. Now we use verification now, so they can't. But before that, we would just add on the phone number. We would say like, we need to speak to you to provide a price quote. Please provide a valid phone number that's best to reach you on, or something like that.
Love that.
It's so simple, and like people overcomplicate, you know, lead quality, but like just putting something like that can actually make a huge difference on just like that like moment when people are thinking about it and they're like, I do want a quote, so yeah, I'll put my phone number in. So yeah, I completely agree that makes complete sense.
It's being like very reasonable with how you ask for it as well, because they know like you're not going to get a full-on quote for a brand new roof based off of 5 questions. Like,
yeah, no, exactly,
no chance.
Yeah.
And then this is probably more geared towards Google Ads, is make it look less like a landing page, make it more a conventional looking website in a way, but still a landing page, if that makes sense. Great imagery to support content, and then just understand your data, which comes back to like, is it a campaign problem or is it a landing page problem? Are we finding we're getting lots of drop off on certain question steps? Do we have a low scroll depth rate? So if you use tools like Hotjar or Microsoft Clarity, that can help you really understand how people are using the page. If you've got a problem with like clarity or whatever it is, it just gives you a bit more information to diagnose issues. And yeah, that's pretty much everything in terms of the presentation. Now we can open up the floor to a Q&A, or we'll get some landing pages up here and do a bit of an analysis if you like.
Just one thing on that. you guys will see just like the amount of effort put into everything that Sam and his team are doing. Um, it's I think a lot of people want a quick solution or want to copy someone else and whatever, but like at the end of the day, like you just got to be really good at what you do and just like put so much effort into everything and like over delivering where possible. And like me and Sam obviously always comparing ideas and stuff like that, and I think we put more attention into things like creatives, where Sam puts more attention to like the things like the landing page, the design, the structure, all of that. And arguably his pages look better than most like web design agencies. And this is just, people aren't paying for this page; they're paying for Google Ads, right? But you guys are doing this as a kind of side thought. But it's just still like amazingly designed. It just looks great. So
we get feedback. A lot of people say, "Can this just be our website?"
So, yeah. Do you guys not do web design? Have you thought about adding that on as a service?
Nah.
Would you not think about doing that?
We've done it in the past, and it's not something I'd ever want to do again.
What's the reason? Just have interest?
It's very time consuming. A lot of back and forth will completely distract you from the goal at hand of getting more clients, efficient setups, productizing your service, which, for anyone who's kind of like picking a niche and like kind of the whole concept of SMMA where you're, just focus on a niche, create a repeatable process. It is not repeat. I'm sure there are ways to do it, but I'm not willing to learn and take the time to do it.
Yeah, makes complete sense. This is like the same reason we haven't done any of that. Like we haven't moved to Google Ads. We haven't like added website design. Like we introduced CRM, like using high level and tried to white label it for like 6 months. And then we had one conversation, me and Rob, my partner, who those who don't know, and we were like, yeah, fuck this. Let's just get rid of it. Like we went back to our like core, which is just like, lead gen sales. Like it's people think, oh, well, I've got this, I've maxed out my potential with this product. It's like, no, there's probably 500,000 to 1 million bloody companies in the UK in your sector, in all sectors, probably like multiple of that. That's only the UK. You've got US, you've got New Zealand, you've got Australia, you've got Canada, you've got Europe potentially. Like there's like really no limit, and most cases people aren't anywhere near maxing that out. So it's you're gonna have far more success just like focusing on your product and improving the one thing that you do. And where there's natural upsells, we added verification, like we can charge for that. That's natural and it's easy and it's supplementing our product even more. Same way with you, Sam. There's things you can offer that are like easy upsells, makes sense, doesn't distract from the core product. That's absolutely fair enough. But at the end of the day, you guys are just like, I've seen you just grow bit by bit over the years. It's not been like, suddenly we're huge. It's just been like adding, maybe netting 2 or 3 clients a month, right? And just doing that like every year for like the last 5 years.
We've known each other for a long time as well.
Yeah.
I've kind of like seen that, and like I think I can't remember when our first conversation was, but yeah, exactly your point. It's just like slowly improving, getting better at what you do, and like really like mastering your craft. And, like the results will come based on that, but like you have to be good at what you do and like spend the time investing in product and service development
and caring as well. Like every time I jump on a call with you, you're always wearing an Atomic shirt, for example. It's like it's little things like that.
Apparel.
It's just little things. Jazz, my partner, she owns the gym. Like she's always wearing Uplift merch, like everywhere. Like she goes, she's wearing it. She's got signage everywhere in town. Like it's just caring about the brand, and I'm not thinking your business is like a quick buck idea. It's like, no, this is something I'm going to do for the next 10 years. Like putting in that effort and really thinking into it. So like it's awesome to see, and I think we've got a lot of similarities in our businesses.
100%.
And we share clients and we share leads and stuff like that. So it's cool to see. Matt says, why do you think it is the case that Google Ads are 80% landing page compared to Facebook being 80% Facebook, as in on 80% time spent on Facebook before the page? Is it because there's no visuals in Google? Like, what do you think, Sam? What's your answer? Then I'll give mine.
Yeah, well, now in Google, you've got this Performance Max campaign style where it will actually now show your assets across all of Google's own kind of different channels through Gmail. You've got YouTube, you've got Google Discover, and there are a few other kind of channels that you can now take a much more blanketed approach to showing more visual content. But primarily, like bread and butter is search campaigns. It's text-based ads. People are doing their research. They're comparing. And when you go to Google, put yourself in the shoes of someone who's like looking for someone to repair your roof. You're going to be opening up multiple tabs. You're going to be seeing what's their star rating. The whole ecosystem for search is quite different to Facebook, where they'll come to your landing page. They'll then Google you, make sure you've got a Google profile, see your reviews. And so when we get clients who are like, oh, we don't really have much of an online presence, it will put them at a complete disadvantage in doing Google ads compared to those people who have got a load of reviews. If you Google their brand name, they've got Trustpilot, they got the Google profile, which is stacked with 50 plus, 100 plus reviews. And they want to do their research as well. They can't come to a page which is just like a quick multi-step form. It depends on their search term that they type in. For cost and price related keywords, you can probably get away with that more so. But for someone who's like looking for, let's say, like a garden room quote, they're going to want to see a portfolio of work, which they haven't had seen in the ad, because the ad is just a text-based ad. That you need to sell them on the landing page itself. The ad does none of the selling other than winning the click.
Yeah, and I also, to caveat that, I have friends who own lead gen companies, and they do a lot of native advertising. So those of you who don't know what native advertising is, it's kind of like underground marketing. Like people don't, it's not popular or sexy. It's like advertising on like the Daily Mail, the Mirror, all of these kind of clickbaity sites, you know, when you go on Lab Bible and all those ads just like come up and you're like, what the fuck is going on? That's basically like native advertising. And that's very much the opposite of what I said. So that is like clickbait ads. They'll have an ad of like a old lady going like, and it will say like UK homeowners won't believe this, ... And the landing page is like, you know, it's more of a kind of what we call an advertorial style website, which is basically it's treated like a news article where they're talking about something, and then there's frequent calls to action. So like fill out a survey or this and the other. So that's very much the opposite of what I said. So it's not always the case that people spend all their time on Facebook, and there's multiple ways to do it, by the way. We prefer having very simple pages only because from a business perspective, it's a lot more scalable and systemizable for us to be able to have one template page and replicate that for every client. Still looks nice. It's very simple. And then just put more time in creative. But you can go the opposite direction, which is where you spend more time on your landing page and your ads are more just like clickbait, like short copy, more kind of, you know, you're not giving them all the information they need. It's more just to generate that click. So you can kind of do it both ways.
We do that actually for cost and price campaigns, because like intent funnel is going to be different to like people looking for, let's say, local loft insulation company, very high intent, whereas cost of loft insulation prices, you can probably change your landing page content to adapt better for that type of traffic. And we have done, and it works better when you consider that.
Like custom values.
Custom value, yeah, like more of a find out how much loft insulation is going to cost, and then it'll be like into your square meterage, and like rather than just get a free survey and quote, it's not the right call to action for it.
Yeah, 100%. Samuel says, is native advertising ethical? I'll let you decide. I mean, my friend, I won't mention names, but they do millions and millions through native. A lot of like health insurance and stuff like that. Bigger in the US. The UK's got a lot tighter laws around this kind of stuff, advertising, data protection, what you can and can't say. The US is kind of like a minefield, right? So you can kind of get away with whatever you want. So it's hard to, I mean, I think it is, but it's just a different way of doing it. And it's, you know, if they click the ad that's upstairs, let's say.
I like how cheap it is.
It's cheap, right? Yeah.
Very cheap and you get a lot of clicks, a lot of impressions. I've never used it, but I've explored like Taboola as a platform.
Yes, exactly. That's what they use. It's more suited to like big companies with call centers, and where the reps are like commissioned on sales, and like they're doing like 100 dials a day and stuff like that.
It's the different level of advertising at that point, isn't it? Whereas your client campaigns are not generating five leads a day, and even that's like really good for like our style of client. 5 to 10 a day is like quite a lot, I'd say.
Yeah.
But they're like talking hundreds, like
thousands sometimes.
Hundreds or thousands a day.
They had one client buying, I think, 1,400 leads a day. Yeah, which is crazy. It's like pinging off like bing, 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 like all day. It's crazy. Dylan says, what was the multi-lead form software you recommend? Okay, so Sam, you're using Hayflow.
I'm using Hayflow. I can put a link to it in here if you like. It's
Pop
an
a link
affiliate link. They'll give you a nice commission. Well, they'll give me a decent commission from it,
Yeah.
and they will also give you a discount as well. So it's a win-win if you want.
Yeah, pop it in the chat, and I'll put it in the. I'll copy paste it now if you post it in there, and I'll put it in the description on the recording.
Nice one.
Yeah, Growth Form's a good one. We use that a lot. Other ones are that I've used is Leads Hook,
Which good.
Leads Hook's pretty good. It can be a little bit more clunky, and requires sometimes a bit more custom kind of design. So Leads Hook's really open source. So basically means that you can kind of customize any part of that form in Leads Hook. And the form, what I liked about Leads Hook was the flow and the map of the how you build the pages. So it's based upon like maps. So you would have like your question, and it would follow steps, and you could redirect people. So if you've got really complex long form, multiple different directional forms, then Leads Hook's a great one. It's also pretty cheap.
Am I right in thinking it can actually direct leads to? It's a lead distributor as well. If you're running campaign like a lead gen site, and you can direct it to certain clients if you're kind of like on a pay per lead model.
So you can have like different APIs, and what do you call it? No API. What's it called? Yeah, I guess API key. Like different APIs, and like you can webhooks. So different webhooks for like different outcomes. So depending on the product they choose, depending on like the area they pick, all these things, you can then webhook that lead to a different source inside of the lead hook. So it's really customizable. So it's quite advanced. Growth Forms like out of the gate is like pretty nice, and they look pretty good. And then I think Hayflow is like reasonably expensive, correct? It's not the cheapest, is it?
So expensive.
It's not expensive, or is
it? It is expensive.
Yeah.
Our plan, we pay like £350 a month for.
Yeah.
For a form, it's quite pricey.
We pay similar amount for Growth Form, but we have a verifications thing set up, and as you get bigger and more clients, everything just gets expensive. So like software, like software start costing like 500 to 1,000 rather than like 50 quid.
It's definitely like we didn't start with stuff like that, and I don't think you need to. Like we built everything in the native Unbounce platform with their forms as well.
Yeah.
Like, and that's fine. They still convert pretty much at the same level. It depends on certain instances, but it's when you have got quite a few clients under your belt and you're looking for really incremental ways to improve your service, improve your performance. That's when I kind of would recommend you start looking at stuff like that.
Agreed. Like it's to keep your costs as low as possible in the early stages.
Like I don't know what your software bill per month is, Sam, but ours is like it's quite steep.
Yeah, it's steep. Yeah, we cut it down. Twilio's, I don't know if anyone who used Twilio, but that was getting outrageous. I think we were paying like $2,500 a month in Twilio costs at one point, which we've managed to slim down quite heavily. Matthew says, "What are you?" We're still using Twilio, unfortunately, but it's just really expensive. But we're having a lot of clients are like dialing using Twilio and Go High Level. We got rid of that. Like there's just no need for them to be doing that. And if they did do it, we charge them for it. But yeah, I still use Twilio. I haven't found I haven't found a Twilio alternative. Yeah, someone does release it.
How much is it per text or SMS?
Like 4p, I think.
Yeah, same with the one I use, Text Magic.
It's Text Magic, yeah, same price. Yeah, so it's like, if you're doing 10,000 leads a month, it's like, I can't do the math off the top of my head, but what's that like? That's just 400 quid just in text.
It will, depending on the client, get them to set their own campaign up if it starts to like rinse ours.
Yeah, or just charge them.
Yeah, or just charge. One of our clients was doing like £400 a month in just calls, and that's in one client.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they don't realize it. You have to tell them how much it's costing, and you're like, by the way, like, it's expensive for you to use this. Like, it might be worth just using your free landline. Like,
our management fee was like $750 as well, so it's literally more than half.
Did you charge for it in the end?
We moved them over to their own account and got
okay, cool.
affiliate commission with
that's so painful when you realize you're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
And Dylan's question: when you're building multi-step, what are you thinking about what's your thinking about the detail and amount of questions currently wanting to build out a form to qualify the bespoke media walls? Okay, so bespoke media walls is like carpentry, right? So it's like custom built, like high end, like TV units, stuff like that. Like that looks like the dog's bollocks, so to speak. Yeah, what do you give us some questions, Sam? What would you ask?
I'd probably ask, oh, I'm trying to think of one's custom to that industry, but always like, when are you looking to start, or a project start date, the postcode, so you can qualify them, and then obviously name, email, phone number. And then your initial questions probably might be like, I guess, something for the business to understand the size of the project. You'd need to know a rough idea of meterage of the media wall size, but that is going to be trickier to get people to know what that is without being like, oh, I need to get my tape measure out and figure it out. So you might need to be you might want to show 3 different sizes as images, which could be quite cool, to give you and put it in situ with like a TV in the middle. And then you've got ones with shelves, and then you've got another one with like even more kind of cupboard space or whatever it is. That might be like kind of choose an approximate size for your project. I'd say it would be quite a good one. And
maybe using images too, like in your examples.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, do you want like lighting built in, for example, like in certain like shelf units, or like, do you want lighting? And it's gonna. I don't know the process of building a media wall too well, but it'd just be like those small kind of details that go into it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good answer. Okay, cool. So Shakir says, what about YouTube ads for local businesses? As I think that's untapped. Obviously, yeah, you're
So
Google guys. Do you guys use YouTube ads much or not?
Yeah, and in PMAX campaigns we do.
Does it work? The YouTube ads doesn't work.
If you run an exclusive YouTube ad campaign, yeah. I mean, we did try it for garden rooms. Cost per lead, it's high, really high. £100, 150, which actually is not too different from our existing campaign. It would definitely be more like an expansion area, and YouTube's targeting is nowhere near as good as Facebook. So I know it's untapped, and it's probably untapped for a reason.
Yeah.
But like, I'd say it's more bigger brands, products. They utilize it quite well. I'm sure someone could nail it for local businesses, but the targeting is just not there.
Yeah. Just not there. Got that. Probably better for like more national campaigns as well.
Yeah, I think, Sam, you asked us like 2 years ago about like the scope of YouTube ads for clients, I think, and then just never kind of explored it.
I've only ever seen one YouTube ad for a local business, and it was a sofa warehouse, and followed me around for ages, and it was a good ad. But that's the only one I've ever seen, and it seemed to be doing well. But I've never done it. I've tested YouTube ads myself before, but not for local, and I just can't be bothered at the moment. But by all means, try.
I'd say it's a very like nice to have in an omni-channel approach, where you're running Google, you're running Facebook, and if you've got the creative, because it's going to be a huge part of it, it's just decent creative. And bear in mind, a lot of YouTube ads are the production quality, and it doesn't have to be, but the production quality is so good.
Yeah,
it feels really pro, that when you see like kind of amateurish stuff, or like stuff which is kind of like shoddily put together, which could easily work in Facebook, but on YouTube it's just like
not gonna work.
No. But the great thing is, in YouTube you can actually only pay every time someone clicks on your ad, so you can get loads of free impressions. So it's like a kind of a nice to have angle as well. So it doesn't mean people have to click on your ad to still get that benefit of it.
Yeah,
I think so many people like forget with advertising that impressions are so valuable as well. Like, even if people are just seeing your ad like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like, of course it didn't have to be see the ad convert, but like just that increased exposure to it over time for like that conversion, which is going to happen in 14 days time, where they could be on Facebook, now they're on YouTube, now that you're seeing them on Instagram, hell, they could even be running remarketing search ads. It's just pretty powerful when done right.
Yeah, 100%. I like it.
It's very advanced. It's like at this stage, you don't need to be delving into omni-channel stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Most of you guys are best sticking with one channel. and focusing on that. But look, we've got 2 minutes left, so if anyone has any more questions, pop them in the chat window. But that was awesome. I think everyone will agree. And hopefully we'll get Sam on to do something else in the future. But yeah, I've done some consulting with Sam in the past, and it's amazing. So he's such a good teacher. So if anyone wants to level up their pages, their Google Ads, I don't know how many people here are running Google Ads, but if anyone wants to do that, learn that, Sam's a great resource. So feel free to message him. But yeah, hopefully everyone had a good enjoyed that. And next week on Wednesday, we'll get back to our usual structure. But yeah, hopefully that was sick. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was wicked. Thanks for hopping on,
Yeah,
Sam.
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Thanks for allowing it.
No, it's fine. We're gonna post a recording in the school group, so you guys can rewatch. I think this is. I'll try and post this one straight away. Usually I wait a few days, but I'll try and post this one straight away because I think this is probably one of the best ones we've done. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get more guests like this on. Obviously Sam's part of the community too, which is helpful. But I'm gonna try and get more guests like this on. I'm gonna do my best to keep bringing more cool stuff. But yeah, next week we'll get back to a normal structure. Any questions anyone has, by the way, we didn't get to cover today, so send me a school message if you have like a really if you're really keen to get something answered. I'll happily help. I'll be online for the next couple of hours, so just send me a message and I'll respond with like a Loom video or something and get your questions answered. But otherwise, everyone have a great weekend, and appreciate you guys all being here. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you found some use from that. If you did, give it a like, leave a comment what you guys want to see next. And obviously, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you want to join the private school community, the Agency Club Inner Circle, we had 25 members join in the last time we opened it, and we kind of hit capacity. We've recently opened up another 25 spots. So I think we have maybe 10 or 15 spots remaining. So if you guys do want to join, we do 2 live calls every single week. Often it's guests like Sam, for example, or sometimes it's just Q&A, going through your business, going through your sales, your marketing, your paid ads, anything you need help with in your agency. We cover it every single week. So click the link down below to join. If not, I'll see you guys in the next video.